before you learn this calculator technique, I expect you to know how to find relative minimum and maximum without using a calculator. But learning this is not cheating, because in some of the calculus exams, you are required to do this on exam. So that means your professor will give you a calculator problem and then ask you to use your calculator to find the min and max on exams. So the function that we will be using is on the right hand side. So that is f of x equals to 1 over 10 x to the 6 plus x to the third minus 2x squared minus x plus 1. So if you are using decimal, which is a free graphing calculator apps, you can use Google that, and then you can either use that on your computer, your phone, or your tablet. So very easy to use. Once you click decimal, all you have to do is you input the function, and then once you input the function, they will give you the graph right away, and then you can use your finger or your pointer to just point at the minimum and maximum, and then give the decimal will give you the coordinate of the points that you want, so which is exactly what you see on the right hand side. All right, so just click on the minimum and maximum, and they will give you the coordinate right away. And then what about graphing calculator? For graphing calculator, you have to do more works. So if you look to your left hand side, the apps that I am using is called TI84. This is not a real TI84 graphing calculator. They are similar, but they are not exactly the same, because this one is free, so many important functions are missing, but this is sufficient to do this problem. So free, and your real calculator is $100, so there must be a difference between free stuff and $100 stuff. So the first place that you will have to go is you will have to press the y equal, and then you input the function. And then make sure you use the parenthesis correctly. Make sure you type everything correctly. If this is wrong, everything else is wrong. And then once you are done, you can hit the window. Make sure the window is right. So for the x-axis and the y-axis, I want them to go from -10 to 10. And then each mark is 1 unit long. And then once that is done, I will hit the graph, so I will get the curve right away. And then how do we get the minimum and maximum? So first of all, I will go to second trace. So press the second key, and then press the trace key. So second trace. So that brings you to the calculate menu, because there is a word calculate right above the trace key. So that is where the calculate menu is. And then I would like to find the minimum first. The first minimum on the left hand side. So let's select the minimum, and then we click enter, and then now they are asking for a left bound, and then on your calculator there is a flashing cursor. So let me move this up. So this is exactly what you see in your graph TI84 Plus or 83 Plus graphing calculator. So first of all, you go to y equal, and then you input the function, and then you get the graph. If you are not happy with the window, you click the window key, and then you adjust your window. And then the next place that you will have to go is you have to press second calc, and then you pick your minimum, and then you will see a cursor flashing on the curve. All right, so use the left arrow, place that flashing cursor on the left hand side of the minimum, anywhere on the left hand side, anywhere on the left hand side, and then you press enter. And then they are asking for a right bound, so you move the cursor to the right hand side of the minimum, and then you press enter. So once you do that, they will give you the minimums in your calculator. They will ask you to calculate, and then you have to press and enter again. So now you will get the minimum. So in your TI84 Plus, the minimum is all the way on the bottom. On the calculator on the right, they will give you the minimum point in the third column. They will give you the coordinate in row 2, not in the second column, in row 2, right? So P1. Do you see that? Do you see that there is on my calculator? Do you see that there is a blue square on the minimum, and then the coordinate is in row 2? So -1.99, comma -6.6, which is what I have using TI84 Plus. And then now, let's find the maximum. So to find the maximum, if you want to go back to the home screen, you can click second mode to go back to the home screen, but you don't have to do so in this video. I would just want to let you know that this exists. And then you go to second trace. So this time we are finding a maximum. the point in the middle. So I am placing the cursor on the left hand side of the maximum, anywhere on the left hand side. As long as that is on the left, you will be okay. And then you place the right bound, place that on the right hand side of the maximum, and then you click enter, you will see the maximum. So on my calculator, I have a blue box. So in row 2, that tells me negative 0.21 past 1.11. So that is the maximum. So that is what you see in your graphing calculator. And then what about the minimum on the right hand side? So same thing, second trace, and then you press the minimum, and then now do you see that the X is floating around? So place that on the left hand side, so that is called the left bound, and then place the X on the right hand side of the maximum, anywhere on the right hand side, and then you hit the enter key. Now they give you the maximum 1.19 and then negative 1.05. So there is one extreme case you might see on your test. I saw that when I was in my calculus class. So I got a graph that looks like this. So that looks like that, and then clearly there is a maximum right over here, right? So this is my window, and then clearly there is a maximum right over here. But the problem is when I move the cursor. When I move the cursor should be, I should place a left cut and left bound and a right bound, right? And then I will get my maximum. Here is the problem that I got on my exam. I only have like 2 minutes left. I got my left bound. When I look for the right bound, so as soon as I click the right key, this cursor will just jump way too over. So instead of having a right bound right over here, the cursor jumps way too far, and then they place the cursor somewhere that is out of the screen. So I am not able to see the cursor on the right hand side of the maximum. I cannot see that in the window because they jump too far. They jump all the way down here, so I cannot see it because the graph continues. So what I did is, I know this is the left bound, so I already click enter, and I also find out that once I click the left arrow once, they will jump out of the screen. So I know the cursor is right over there, but I just cannot see it. So I press enter anyway, so they will just mark this as my right bound, and then they will give me a maximum. So that is a very extreme case. The right bound is there, but you cannot see it. The cursor is there, but you cannot see it. So you click enter anyway. Just be confident, and then they will return to this point, and then they will tell you what the coordinate is. But you can use your eyes to tell that that is the maximum. So this is a pretty extreme case I got on the exam. I only have like 2 minutes left. I have to make a decision right away. So this is what I got, and it turns out that I got my answer right. All right. So if the cursor jump way too far, so this is how you handle this in the middle of a test. Usually in this type of situation, you only got a couple minutes left, and you have to figure out this issue right away. Alright, so that is the end of this video. If you think my instruction is helpful and clear, give me a like, share the video in any social media for me. If you are new to the channel, spend 2 seconds to click the subscribe button. I appreciate your help. I will see you all in the next lesson. Signing out.